So the next thing I'm going to be addressing is to think when you're coming newly into Canada, it's not as easy to find a place as you may think. So basically, if you've been searching online, some platforms that you can use to search for apartments include Facebook Marketplace. I got my own space from Facebook Marketplace, and then you can also use Craigslist. Those two are very, very good platforms to kind of find apartments on. It also can help when you get here to have like a Airbnb. So if you're a newcomer here and you don't have anybody to stay with and you've still not found an apartment back from wherever you're coming, say you're coming from Nigeria or any other country, you want to just book an Airbnb. Airbnb is just basically like a platform where you kind of find lists. So people list houses on the platform and then you pay, you book for literally maybe a week, a month, 2 months, just a number of a period of time that you know that okay, I'm able to afford this and I'm able to find an apartment. Because to be frank, houses listed on Airbnbs are quite expensive and you have to be paying for a night. But trust me, everything you need is right there. It's all furnished. They have the pots, plates, everything you will need to kind of like, live properly. Everything is all in Airbnb. It's just that the payment is every day and it's quite pricey. So instead of you paying like $800 for a month to stay in an apartment, for an Airbnb, you probably pay that $800 just for a week, because they have everything that you need and it's usually just for short stay. You don't have to kind of like stay there permanently. So for people that are coming newly into the country and you've not been able to find an apartment from Nigeria or wherever you're coming from, you might want to just book Airbnb. And while you're at the Airbnb, you kind of start checking more on Facebook Marketplace and other platforms such as Craigslist. It's very important that you start searching for an apartment. Say you know that you're coming in November, you want to start searching for an apartment from September, and what you'll be searching for is an accommodation that is open for November 1st, right? So you're not going to be searching for an accommodation that starts from October 1st, because you know that you're coming in November, right? So everything you're going to be searching for on Facebook Marketplace is going to speak to November 1st. On Facebook Marketplace, they always listed there that okay, this accommodation is available from the 1st of October, is available from the 15th of October, is available from the 1st of November. Or if they don't state it, you need to ask them that when is this accommodation available. But like, yeah, I would definitely advise and recommend that you try to make sure that you're already searching for an apartment before you get here. And for the short time, if you do not get an apartment on getting to this place, Airbnbs are like a very good option for you to stay in. However, when you're on the platform, make sure that you read reviews, because some Airbnbs can be shit. So you want to read reviews on how people have what people have experienced in staying in all those type of Airbnbs, what you can expect and what you shouldn't expect. So yeah, that's actually a very good place to stay for newcomers that do not necessarily have an accommodation yet. Another option, if you do not want to stay in an Airbnb, is homestay. Homestay is literally similar to Airbnb, but the only difference is you're actually paying directly to the host. So whoever it is that you let's say you find the house, and whoever it is that is hosting you in that house, you have to pay the money directly to them. And sometimes some of them stay in the building with you, or maybe like a separate building, but like it's not far apart from each other. So that's basically about homestay. Is literally similar to Airbnb. So these are the two types of accommodation that you can get as a newcomer if you do not have like a stable apartment yet. Now, to further my discussion, people that are already here and now you want to settle in properly, you're already here, you've probably stayed in your Airbnb for a couple weeks and you've been searching, the kind of things you want to look out for when searching for an apartment will kind of come to you, because now you're more familiar with the environment, you know which area you want to stay, you know where your school is if you're a student, and if you're a family, you know where your workplace is, or if you're a resident like a PR person and you have like a job or whatnot in any province you're going to, you know where your workplace is. You already know like the system where you have to go to the bus station, the train station, the shopping malls and everything. By this time, you now know that okay, I want to stay in this area, I want to stay in that area. Now, the kind of apartments that are easiest to find in this kind of time is basically one, shared apartments. Shared apartments are literally like everywhere, right? They have a lot of shared apartments depending on your preference and where you would love to stay. But shared apartments are one of the apartments that's easy to get. It does not require any kind of credit score or any kind of proof. Sometimes your host or the owner of the house might want a month payment. Some of them might want you to lease for 6 months and renew your agreement every 6 months. Some of them might just want you to pay cash as you have it, like as it comes, like every month just pay cash if you want to pay. Some of them might tell you every first of the month you have to pay. Some might say, oh, you moved in on the 15th, so you pay every 15th of the month. It all depends on whatever agreement you have with whoever you are getting an apartment from. But what you need to know is shared apartment are one of the easiest apartments to actually secure, because there are really no rules guiding them. Although there are some owners of houses that will be like, oh, don't bring friends, don't do this, don't do that, we don't allow people that no cooking of spices in the kitchen, because obviously you share the kitchen, right? No this, no that. You just want to make sure that you're asking questions at every point. When you see an apartment that you like on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist, you want to make sure that you're asking, oh, what am I allowed to do, what am I not allowed to do. Another thing you want to consider when taking a shared apartment is you want to consider how close it is to the train station or the bus station that needs to take you to wherever you need to go. Say you have to go to work somewhere, how far is this shared apartment from this particular place? Is it a 1 hour distance or whatnot? However, if you'll be driving, I don't think that's much of a problem. But you also want to find out how the parking is wherever it is you will be, how you can maneuver your way around while driving, how fast it is and all that. But you want to make sure that you put all of these things into consideration when you're checking for any kind of apartment, because it really helps, especially for those that do not drive, to be closer to the train station, to be in an environment or a community where the bus system works perfectly and is really fast. It also helps when you have the malls and the shops, or where you have to get like grocery store when it's closer to you. It really helps and saves time and cost of going far and coming back, because yeah, the bus system does work, but you want to make sure that you are making the most of the opportunity presented to you. So another apartment that you want to also look at that is quite easy after shared apartment is also basement. So literally here in Canada or here in Vancouver, from what I've seen, virtually every house usually has a basement, right? It's just like a space. Most of the people that give out basement just want to get extra income and kind of make more money. So basement prices are not always ridiculous, right? However, when you're getting a basement, you want to check for a lot of things, because basement can suck, at the same time it can be nice, right? So you want to know if it has natural lighting, if the ventilation is very good. You want to know if it has a separate entrance, and you also want to know if you have to kind of like go through the whole building and then go down a staircase to get to your room. So yeah, those are definitely things to look out for. But basement does not require so much. The owners don't necessarily ask you for so much, such as maybe people asking for like credit score or asking for this or that. None of that happens. So yeah, shared apartment followed by a basement, those are actually two kind of apartment that can literally work for a newcomer that is seeking for like ease of finding an accommodation. Another type of apartment that you can also look into is like lease transfers. So lease transfers is basically like someone right now, like I'm in an apartment, right, a shared apartment or whatnot, and then I want to move out, and I have a friend or a colleague that's probably been telling me about, oh, I need a place, so I'm just going to tell the person, oh, I'm moving out, you can come in, right? But this also depends on your landlord or whoever owns the house. For some houses, the landlords don't have like any prior connection conversation with their tenants or whatnot. They just want to get their money and be done with. So that kind of apartment, you can always do that. Tell your friend that, oh, I'm moving in, and if the landlord asks, like, oh, she's my sister, she's just taking over the apartment, I'm moving to a better place. Or there are some that you have to literally tell the landlord that, oh, somebody is moving in, because they have a preference of the kind of people they want to be staying in their apartment. Some people just want only girls, some people want only guys, some people want different races, some people want same races, some people want dark people, some people don't want dark people. So this list transfers, it's actually very, very tricky. So if you have to be careful when it comes to that, but those are actually quite easy too, because it's just literally word of mouth. You need to just tell somebody, oh, I need an apartment, and then when they're moving out, they remember you that, oh, you said you're moving, so they just transfer their list to you basically. But it all depends on the owners of the house, what they want and how they want it. So yeah, but the most easy that I'm still going to re-emphasize is the shared apartment and the basements. So now we've talked about the types of apartment, we've talked about the types of stays if you're new here, and we've also talked about the types and easy apartments to get when you finally are settled here. The next thing is going to be, what are the things you should consider when you're trying to get an apartment?